Hello, good evening to everyone, Pinoy chess fans and subscribers out there. And for those that have not yet subscribed, please do so by clicking the subscribe button below in this video. And today, we are going to take a look at the round 6 game of Wesley So and Maxime Bashir Lagrave of the Clutch Chess International. This is round 6. So, uh, this game is really beautiful because uh, Wesley Saw showed, sorry for the mispronunciation. Wesley Saw showed how powerful his pawns are in this game. He showed that uh, he was able to do or to deal MVL. I'll just use MVL because uh, Maxime Bashir Lagrave is too long for me to pronounce. Uh, what happened here is that NBL was in Zemi Zugzwang before he resigned. Almost all of the choices that he would be making in this game at the end of the game, wherein the Wesley Sauce Phones was marching towards the promotion at the 8th rank. No, not the 8th rank, the 1st rank, because Wesley Saw is black in this game. So NBL really finds it difficult to make a good move, a worthy move that would still continue to fight. So he is in semi-sugswang in this game. So let's take a look at this wonderful game. Okay, so NBL opened with e4 and e5 by Wesley, and then knight f3, knight c6, and bishop c4 here. So Wesley responded with bishop c5, and then castling knight f6 and d3, and of course d6 by Wesley, c3. So c3 here, MBL intends to take control of the center here by going d4. So what Wesley did is to castle first, and then knight b d2. So I think d4 is possible here, but NBL wants to maintain the tension in the center. So you can do that by not immediately broadcasting your intention or your plans. So what Wesley did here is to make the move a6. So he's either preparing for d4 or b5. So he intends to keep his pawn at e5. He would not be giving up the center by making the move e takes d4. Sorry. So a6 from Wesley here, and then we have here a4. So it prevents b5. Okay, so Wesley made the move bishop to a7. I think it's a preparatory move if he wants to make the move b6, bishop b7. But I think the real intention of Wesley here is to bring his knights to the king side. So let's see what would happen. So a6 by MBL, he is preventing a irritating pin at g4 with the move bishop g4. And of course, the same with Wesley. This is a prophylactic move just in case uh, it gets messy. He won't be pinned by a bishop at g5. So rook e1 by MVL, and here, of course, knight e7. That's really the intention of Wesley, to bring his knight to the king side. Sorry. So d4 and knight g6. Another option here for MBL could be, instead of d4, knight h5, but it's not yet possible because uh, there is a chance that you get some sort of move like g6. So knight f5 wouldn't be possible. But since he had not made that move, this knight g6 actually prevents the knight h4, not knight h5. I think I have mentioned knight h5 a while ago. It's knight h4 by MBL. So uh, what he did is rook e1. So we now have uh, knight g6. Okay. No, no. Rook e1 was a while ago. What MBL did was d4. So knight g6 is forced in order to, if d takes e5, then d takes e5, then it's protected from the capture by the white knight at f3. So let's proceed. Bishop b3. So what's the purpose of this move? Maybe MBL intends to transfer this bishop to c2 in order to support a future kingside attack. Okay? So rook e8, so bishop c2, and we now have knight h5. Okay, so knight h5, you may be thinking, if is this not a blunder on the part of Wesley, because there is knight takes e5 and the knight at h5 is not protected. So no, MBL did not do knight takes e5. So what he did is knight f1, because of course if knight h5, there could be moves like knight f4, since the bishop is still covered by the knight, and there could be some sort of sacrifices here. Maybe there's a well-known line there that that it's a trap. So MBL, maybe he is right, or he just trusts that, or he respects Wesley So. That's why he didn't make that move. So he goes for knight f1, and then we now have knight h to f4 and knight g3. So let's see. Uh, let's evaluate the position here. So this knight at g3 could jump to f5 when the time comes, and when the condition is okay for this knight to jump to f5. And but what's the I think the better position here is the position of black, because this knight is supported. This knight at f4 is supported by a knight at g6. So if ever we have bishop takes f4, then we have a knight f4 to maintain an outpost at f4. So I think, although the engine evaluation here says white is slightly better, if I would be asked, I prefer to play the position here as black. Okay? So that's my personal opinion and personal experience as a chess player. I have win games here as black, maybe not, maybe because my opponent made some inaccurate moves, but for me, I prefer this position as black and not as white. But I'm not saying that white is worse here. It's just my personal preference to play this position on the side of the black player. Okay, so we have knight g3, and we have now d6. So this d6 may be just a waiting move by Wesley. I don't know. Let's see what would happen. So we have bishop e3. So MBL has no intention of taking out this knight at f4. So he wants to preserve his two bishops. Okay, queen f6. So definitely this is really the team here. If ever the queen leaves this diagonal, and then you have the sacrifice, knight takes h3. You see that? You have knight takes h3, because if g takes h3, then the knight at f3 is unprotected. So, makakain po ng white. Pag umalis po tong queen na to dito, for example, queen d2, meron po tayong knight takes h3. Check po, di ba? Pag kinain po ng g-pawn, g takes h3, then yung knight po sa f3, pwedeng kainin ng queen dito sa f6. So, ganun po ang mangyayari. So, let's proceed. So, queen f6, then we have knight f5. So, the condition is okay to make this move knight f5, because if bishop takes f5, e takes f5, then the pawn at f5 is protected by the bishop at c2. So that is the purpose of the bishop c2 a while ago. The purpose of the maneuver, bishop from c4 goes to b3, and then the bishop goes to c2. So we have now knight f5. Okay? So bishop uh, b8 here. So this is just a what you call this, a increasing the level of protection, overprotecting your critical points, critical pawns or pieces. So this is a principle popularized by Aaron Nimzovich. So overprotection, as he calls it. During his time, a lot of top grandmasters, top players did not believe him. But by the time of maybe Fischer, uh, Spassky, Botvinnik, and eventually Karpov and Kasparov, they appreciated what Aaron Nimzovich have done and actually adopted his principle. So uh, it's just a sad thing that that time Nimzovich is already dead. So his contemporaries did not believe him, and only the people after him, when he is already not at this earth, that the top grandmasters adopted his principles in chess. Okay, so we have now bishop b8. So e takes e5, and of course we have the response e takes e5, and we have bishop b6. So what MVL is trying to do here is to take control of this diagonals, and this pawn cannot move anymore. So this is also a good move. And we have now a5. This actually prevents this pawn from being this bishop, sorry, from being untouchable, because by going a5, you prevent a5 from white, which would fix the black pawns later in the endgame because of the en passant rule. Okay, so next we have b4. So a takes b4, c takes b4, and then we have knight e7. This knight at e7 challenges the knight at f5. So you now see the purpose of the move bishop b8, because after this, the knight cannot jump to d6 because the d6 square is overprotected by the bishop at b8 and the queen at f6. So what would be MVL's response? Look at this. It's a beautiful move. Uh, Bishop d8. It actually pins this knight from going anywhere because of the queen at f6 would be exposed to attack if this knight moves. But let's see how Wesley handles this thing. And actually, the engine says Wesley is ahead here, or it's about equal and a slight edge for Wesley. So let's see. So instead of using the knight to take this f5, the knight at f5 by white, uh, the bishop at c8 was used to capture the knight. So bishop takes f5, and we have e takes f5, and this cannot be taken by the queen because of the bishop at c2. And we have now bishop d6. This is also a beautiful move. This exposes the white bishop at d8 to an attack because of a discovered attack from the rook at a8, and also it's now a while ago it's already under attack by the rook at e8, but of course usually nothing else, no nothing else could be considered. A rook usually is not exchanged for a bishop. So we have now bishop d6. This bishop is now under attack from the rook at e8 and the rook at a8. Okay, so we have bishop. He was forced to take with the bishop at e7. Bishop takes e7, and we have rook takes e7. So look at this pawn at e5. It's triple protected by the bishop, by the queen, and the rook. Okay, that's a Nimzovich principle. So we have g3, forcing black to remove his knight at f4. But as you can see, this pawn at h3 is unprotected. You see this? It's unprotected. So what would Wesley do? He doesn't take it. He has other plans. Okay, knight h2. So it's a this is a preparatory move for knight, as you can see here, knight g4, which would actually make it difficult for the queen to relocate herself. So what would Wesley do here? So bishop b4, attacking the rook and making an escape route for the queen at f6. So we have now knight g4 and then queen d6. Okay, so this is a good move here. And we have f6. Okay, so knight takes f6, queen takes d6, bishop takes d6, and knight takes f6. This results to a double pawn structure for Wesley here. But I think Wesley is ahead here because uh, he would have a majority pawn structure at the queen side. So let's see what would happen. So we have bishop f5, bishop c5, and then here a5. So this is a good move because it fixes the backward pawn here at b7. So we have bishop d4, rook a4, king f8, king f2, and b5. So this bishop d4 move was actually good because it forces the rook to leave this a1 square, which is protected by his other rook at e1. So by going up, the move b5 is now possible because if en passant, then the rook can capture the other rook. Okay, so this is a good move. So we now have b5 and rook a2, and boom, look at this. The pawn at a5 is hopelessly under attack by two rooks that cannot and the other rook cannot join in the protection because of the bishop at d4. Look at this, guarding the a1 square. So this rook at e1 cannot go to a1 in order to help his comrade here in protecting the a5 pawn. So Wesley is winning here. So we have a counter attack here, rook c2, and of course c5 first before capturing the a5 pawn, because this pawn is not going anywhere. I could take this later. It's not going anywhere. And we have bishop e4, and look at this. Instead of moving the rook away, Wesley just say, let's go. Take the rook at a1. What's important for Wesley here is uh, even if he loses the exchange, his pawns at the queen side is more than enough to give black, no, not black, to give white or MVL lots of problems. So let's see what would happen. Bishop takes a8, rook takes a8, and we have king f3, and we have now f5. So as you can see, the pawns of Wesley are really marching to the first rank, going to the first rank in order to promote. And we have king e2, king e7, and then rook b1 attacking the pawn. So you can see here, Wesley did not make the move before. So maybe he's thinking of doing something else like c4, and this b4 move would be for later when things are okay already, or when the time is right, I should say. So this is actually a good move, rook a5, and then we have here g4. So what MBL is doing here is trying to destroy the coordination of the pawns of Wesley here. So instead of taking at g4, just king e6, because if black takes at g4 and then h takes g4, then this a6 pawn would be exposed to attack from the rook with the move rook a1. So king e6 only, and then we have rook b3. So that's it. Why not immediate b4? Because the b5 pawn would support a push to c4. Okay? Rook b1, and we have f4. So we have here h4, trying to clear this, to clear one of white's pawn going to the promotion square. Okay? So we have h4, and then we have king d4. So look at this. It seems that Wesley's pawns are very menacing and can't be stopped. And we have here g4. No, not g4, g5. And look at this. Wesley does not take the pawn at g5. He wants white to have problems here. He doesn't want white to be able to maneuver with rook a1 and then rook h. No, not rook a1. He doesn't want MVL or white to maneuver with rook h1, rook h8, and provide some checks at the back of the king. So Wesley does not want that, so he just go h5 in order to make this king side closed from white. So it's not available for business from white. So h5, and then we have rook. This is rook d2 and c3. And of course, this is a little bit forced, rook c2. If we have here, for example, rook 2 to d1, then boom, we have c2, and one of the rook is gone or lost. Or if we have here, instead of rook d1, so let's go back. What if c3? What if like this? Then we have d3. Then this push would result to the same thing. So if this one, then this rook would go here, and then we still have c2. So the same thing here. So precisely rook c2 is forced. So rook c2 is forced here. And then what next? We have king c4. So king c4 would support here a push with b4. So we have king f3. Okay, and then we have b4. So look at here. It seems that the rooks of MVL can't do anything. They are immobilized here. So we have b4, and then we have king to e4, and boom, b3. So this is a very beautiful picture if you are Wesley or you are black. And if you are MVL, this is a very sad picture for you. Okay, we have b3, and then we have rook 2 to c1, and then look at this. Look at this sacrifice by Wesley. Do you think, why would Wesley do this? Why would he allow such a thing to happen? Look at this. Wesley just allowed rook takes b2, and then he has a beautiful rook a1. Right? Rook a1. So if this rook takes the rook at a1, then we have this. And of course, you cannot go with a check, because after this it's game over. You can't stop the queening of this pawn at b2, so it's not possible to go up. So we have here like this. After rook a1, MVL did not capture the rook at a1. He just go rook 2 to rook b to c2, and we have rook takes c1 by Wesley. Rook takes c1, and then bishop takes f2, and then we have rook c2, and here bishop e3. This bishop e3 is actually controlling the queening square here. Okay, we have this, and we have this king, Okay, and of course, e5, e4 check would win the game. King takes e4, king takes c2, and we have here a resignation by MVL. But let's go back somewhere. So we have here like this. So where did it came from? Uh, you see that we can see that this actually loses, right? Rook b to c2 loses the game because of bishop takes f2. What if uh, instead of rook b to c2, what if the answer here is like this? Okay, so if like this, I think Wesley would just do this, right? Rook to h1, and what would white do? He can't do a thing. Yes, he can't do a thing. He could go like this, and what now? I just have this. Okay, so basically, white is in semi-sugswang here, and for example, if like this one, I could just go back like that, and here, okay, and still, this is a very sad picture for MBL. So congratulations to Wesley. He would be going to the let's see what would be the next events here. This is for the other players and for the others. Actually, Wesley is this is done. These games are done. Wesley is actually already inside or qualified for the semifinals. There are 4 players in the semifinals. We have Carlsen and Caruana. The match is I don't know. Sorry, Carlsen versus Aronian and Wesley versus Caruana. So this game would start in about 26 hours or more than 1 day. So see you on this game. I shall be covering the game of Wesley. I hope live, or if it's not live, it's a little bit delayed. So again, thank you guys for watching this video, and let's support Wesley So for the Filipinos out there, our kababayan. And also, please support the Pinoy Youth Chess channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, just click the subscribe button below this video. And thank you for watching uh, my presentation today.